If we've never met before, my name is Rachel, and I like to talk about holistic health, spirituality, healing, integrating trauma, intimacy, overcoming suffering, becoming your happiest and highest self. And I've done that through my own journey, so I like to share what has helped me, the challenges I've gone through, and what I needed to do in order to overcome those. And today's topic is one that I have seen other people wanting to try, so that's why I wanted to make a video. If you want to hear more about these sorts of topics, hit subscribe. If you like this video and it helps you, please hit like and or comment what you'd like to see next. I have a whole list of things to go into coming up, like what's the best diet to eat for you, how light affects our health, thyroid video. So lots of good things coming, but let's get on with today's video. So at one point in my health journey, I needed to quit sugar, and looking at my life growing up, I definitely craved sugar. I probably had dessert multiple times a day. I really craved it. I had candy bars, I had cookies. When I was growing up, I liked to bake, so I would make cookies and brownies and cake in the kitchen. So I definitely liked sugar. And then as I guess everything kind of culminated. So I always had anxiety growing up. I had a stomach ache a lot of the time growing up, and then everything really came to a head when I was like 19 to 20, 21. My parents separated when I was 16, and I didn't deal with that stress at all. So my body really started to like give me fire alarms, like symptoms, like, hey, something's going on. You need to look at this in order to feel happier and healthier. So right after college, so when I was 22 is when I started to get even during that school year though, I looked into like resources online and stuff. But right after I graduated, I went to a chiropractor that does nutrition response testing, and he said, yeah, definitely stay away from sugar. It's very inflammatory to your body right now. And growing up as a kid, I could probably eat it and be fine. But just at this point where my body was kind of changing, and now as I know, like moving from a carbon-based being into a crystalline DNA being, I understand that this ascension path was how it kind of went. But it was, I don't know, it was kind of a blow, you know. I've worked in weight loss now too, and some people are like, if they need to break up with their sweets, they freak out. Like it feels like a breakup and it's super duper scary. So, you know, food can be such an emotional crutch for people. Like it can be a huge transition to need to start to change your diet. So yeah, I think, again, I'll just kind of walk on my journey, and one part of that being, so my why was really important at that time, because like I said, I would eat sugar and I would be like, okay, growing up, I didn't really have any symptoms that I could feel or see. And then after I was told like quit sugar, there were a couple times where my cravings were so much that I ate it again. And I was sick for like 3 to 5 days after, like a little bit of a fever, achy, stomach hurt, really moody. So I don't know how many times I did that, but you know, one of the last ones, or I remember after making that choice and that decision, I said to myself, okay, Rachel, remember, next time you really crave sugar, this is how sick you feel when you decide to eat it. So remember how much this pain really outweighs the pleasure of a couple, I don't know how many minutes a dopamine hit lasts, right? So that was my why, was for my health, and to be like, well, I don't want to be sick for 3 days just because of a choice I make. Just got a hangnail. That's great. My morning today is kind of driving me nuts, but I wanted to show up and do a powerful video because I know that I'm powerful and I have information to share, but I am a little like huffy. Just fair warning. You know, just show up even if it's not perfect. That's what I'm supposed to do on this journey, so I am doing that. But yeah, understanding your why is really important. And I get that a lot of people, like, they eat sugar and they don't feel sick immediately. Like, I wasn't always even like that, so I know that that's not always something that happens. However, if your why is like, okay, if I continue to eat sugar, like, my whatever condition will get worse, like, you really need to look at that pain versus pleasure balance, right? Because like I said, I was like, well, the pain of feeling super sick and icky for a couple days needs to start outweighing the, like I said, the craving, just getting that fix kind of hit, right? So understand your why, and we'll start with, because I like to look at things in a couple different ways, like daily changes and then the overall kind of arching change to make, right? So I have my little cheat sheet over here. Okay. So when I needed to do that, I remember I was like, I need to chew gum, like, you know, keep my mouth busy. Instead of eating that craving thing that I'm wanting, I'll put something else in my mouth to keep it busy. So you can chew gum. And then as I worked in weight loss and just on my journey, like what I do now is I still want sugar at times, right? Because I learned at one point on my journey, the reason we like crave sugar, and not everybody does, right? But in nature, when we found fruits or sugar, we knew that we could eat it and we wouldn't be poisoned, is one of the evolutionary reasons why sugar is like safe to us. Now that I'm saying this now, you know, like breast milk is just basically carbohydrates. There's probably a little bit of fat and protein in there, but it is sugary. So, you know, from a very, like, our first coming into life, and the sustenance that we're getting is sugar and carbohydrates mainly. I haven't looked at the macro profile of breast milk, but I know I've heard that it's carbohydrate heavy. So that's the evolutionary reason why we need sugar or crave it and like know it's safe. So there is, you know, I like the understanding of like, oh my gosh, like we're going, like, let's work with biology instead of against it, because I think people get so logical at times and it's like, hang on, remember you're a mammal, you know, like let's just dial it back a little bit. Understand that you're an animal, even though we are super logical and stuff and have created whatever on the planet. But really breaking it down is something that I really talk about in a lot of my content. So it's really important to understand that. But like I said, what I also do now is having other swaps. So there's a brand, now that I'm in front of my computer, let me see what it is. I think it's, oh wait. Okay, so Smart Sweets is a company that has like Swedish fish, sour gummies, gummy bears, caramels. So it's like, oh, if you have a sugary craving, you can eat this and you're not going to have the blood sugar rush. You're still going to get your sweet fix, but without all the negatives of just pure white refined sugar. So for me, okay, hang on. When you have just white refined sugar, which means, you know, like sugar that you have in your baking cupboard, there's no nutritional value in that. It simply is the sweet taste. However, when you look at honey or maple syrup, like, yes, they're sweet, but they also have minerals and benefits to our health. But the reason why sugar has become such a popular ingredient is we crave it, and companies are like, we need to put sugar in everything, so people get addicted to our foods. But again, there's no nutritional value in it. So we've really taken away all of the good stuff and have just had that super addicting substance that people get addicted to and crave, and they'll spend money on it, right? And they'll get it how they need to. So that's something to keep in mind. And when you're looking for smart swaps, like instead of eating pure white refined sugar, like in a candy bar, like in a cookie, whatever, you can have a piece of fruit, you can have a tablespoon of honey, you can have some maple syrup. I think a pretty common one is like maple syrup and making a blueberry like crisp, like that's really good. I've baked bananas in the oven before and put some blueberry, like heated up frozen blueberries compote a little bit, So starting to find those swaps is also really, really important because again, you might crave sugar a lot and that's okay, but we need to start adding nutrition back, not just the sugar, 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 sugar. Like this is why it's become so addictive, right? I was just at a job for a little bit and I swear in the afternoon, one of my coworkers was like, I need chocolate. And then like someone else was like, do you need chocolate? I'm like, no. But this is what happens is the stress response happens and then our bodies are like, it's like that Pavlov dog thing. Ooh, chocolate and sugar will make me feel better. And we just wonder why people are like getting more and more overweight and unhealthy. And it's like, well, you're eating crap that doesn't have any nutrition in it. Like, it's just crazy. But this is why I'm here to help share information because you can break out of those cycles. I still eat now like is it Hum chocolate? They use coconut sugar. So again, I've gone to many chiropractors and one of them said like agave syrup is too sweet for me, but I don't react poorly to maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar, because again, those have nutrients in them and my body's like, cool. Cherries are fine for me, grapes, because some people are too sweet for them. So you can do muscle testing, you can do other sorts of testing to find out what your body likes specifically. But that's also going to be very beneficial because instead of you just guessing and throwing things at the wall, it's like, what does your body want? And I did a while ago like a muscle testing video, but I should do another one because you can actually ask your body, what does it want? What does it need? Because there's a lot of information out there, but a lot of it is not going to pertain to you. And we're changing all of the time. We're changing on a daily basis. So it's really important, like on my journey, like I have changed so much. Like when I've gone to nutrition response testing and kinesiology testing, like that's testing your body on that day for what organ is stressed. And then I would take that supplement and like the next week I would be at a completely different place. Like that just happened a couple months ago. I was sick 4 times in a month and it was a little bit different every time. One was my lymph system. I think one was like an immune challenge. One was supporting my liver. Like this is why I'm so all about like becoming empowered and getting into your own body and listening to your body, because if you want to become your happiest and highest self, you need to understand what's going on in your body and you need to become more aware of it and its messages that it's giving you. I mean, if you want to, I understand that it's change and it's hard and it's new and it's uncomfortable, but I found it to be much more stressful to not get answers and not become healthy. And I was like, no, I'm getting healthy. So then I need to go on this route. Like, fine, I'll do it. So that's like some of the sweet stuff, swaps, I should say, gum, emotional freedom technique. So I'm all about getting to the emotional root. Like I said, like in that example of my old coworkers and me, like sugar was a form of safety when I felt out of control or like I was craving something. I was craving the sweetness of life and wanting to enjoy life. So you can go on YouTube or you can do emotional freedom technique. Even though I have these sugar cravings, I still choose to love, honor, and accept myself, go through all the points, really start to rewire your body and your brain. Like, hey, you don't need this thing all the time anymore to keep you safe. Like, let's work on something else. Let's move energy out of the body if it's all caught up and trapped in there, or if you're not having enough energy and you're feeling really lethargic, let's bring new energy into the body. That's what emotional freedom technique and acupuncture is all about, moving energy through the body. And that's, as a healer, again, one of the things I'm here to tell people about, because everything is energy. Words, food, songs, music, obviously situations that you're in with people. Okay, and then just kind of an overall, it's not going to be a perfect process. It is a journey. Like I said, one of my examples was, oh, I still had cravings, so then I ate it and then I felt sick. Like, that's how our brain learns. So it is stupid and it's time consuming, but if your brain has had a certain pattern for years, it needs to kind of, rewire and learn, like, oh, wait, if I'm going to make this change, this is what I need to do. Like, it has pathways, right? So if it's been going down the same pathway for, like I said, lots of times, and you're creating a new pathway, it's like literally walking on a path in the woods. You can see where people have walked, right? Like, there's no grass, it's dirt. And then if you want to walk on another path because you want something new, well, there's no pathway there yet. You have to make it. So that's going to be a part of this process. There's going to be a couple steps back, there's going to be a couple steps forward, and a couple wins, just like everything else in life. So understanding that at the beginning of it can be helpful and beneficial, so you're not so hard on yourself and you just give up and quit. Okay, and then my last point is talking about this dopamine cycle a little bit and breaking that. So, like I said, and as everyone's aware, dopamine is a hormone that it gets released when we feel good, and it kind of comes in spurts. So you can get a dopamine fix. People get it like through tobacco and smoking and sugar and gambling. It's a hormone that drives us towards something, so we do make decisions. However, it can kind of become an addicting cycle where, like, that's why gambling is addictive, right? Or tobacco or cigarettes are, is because you can get that dopamine hit and you're just kind of in this cycle, and you don't need to necessarily seek outside of it in order to feel good, right? So I was probably on Instagram a couple days ago. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I'm going to find the exact one, but infographic. That's not what I want to find. Happy chemistry, dopamine facts. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to find the exact one, but I'll talk about what I remember off of it. So if you want to kind of create this longer term happiness and joy in your life, that graphic was talking about go on long walks outside, eat protein, have deep conversations with people that you care about, like create art, do something that feeds that inner child. So to create this kind of dopamine cycle of, let's use the example of craving sugar and just getting a quick fix, and like, I'm stressed, so I need to eat sugar so I don't feel stressed, but then you eat the sugar and then that high goes away, so you're going to need to eat more of that sugar. Like I just said, focus on the big term picture. Like I just said, emotional freedom technique, learning how to fulfill your needs and stress when they come up without the sugar, walking outside, eating more protein to fill yourself up, stretching into the bigger version of you. And again, when I talked about the smart swaps, like I still crave sugar. I love sugar. I love fruit. Fruit is one of, like, probably my favorite food, honestly, at this point, especially right now. I'm eating more of it. And being on this journey of a couple steps back, just keep doing it over and over and over again. If you want more support in a one-on-one session, like doing emotional freedom technique or getting to root cause of some of your emotional issues, reach out to me. We can do readings, we can do energy work, we can do longer term coaching. But yeah, I hope this helps. Sorry, I'm kind of crabby pants today, but I knew I needed to show up and still share what I need to, because that's what matters, right? That's what matters. Even on this path that I want to be on, there are things, it's like I feel like I'm taking a step back, but really it's a win because I still am doing what I need to do. So I will see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.